Yeah, let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Everybody in the building, salute, salute. Y'all already know you watching another episode of Everything Boxing. There you go, talking that boxing again. Yeah, we definitely gonna cook today. We definitely gonna cook today. Yeah, y'all already know what we gonna cook on. As you come in the building, make sure that you hit my like button and you know jump in the comments. Let me know you're in the building. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see who we got already in the building. We got Royalty Tees 4 in the building. What's happening with it? What it do? AJ64. What's happening with it? Salute. Daryl Deloach, Johnny Q, Bullet Gibson, Randall Bivens. What's happening with it? Miguel Adams. What's good with it? Sheena. What's going on with it? Queen Kawhi Elliott. Let's see who else we got in the building. Specs in the building. Armani Martinez, man, we gonna get there. I just started the show. That's what the show about. I'm gonna cook. I'm gonna tell everybody because I did get a chance to go watch the fight a second time. So I advise everybody to go watch the fight a second time. Light Skin Business, what's happening with it? Devon, what it do? Johnny Q in the building, what's happening with it? ATX Slab, what it do? Sean Clark, what's happening? Yeah. Willie Williams, what it do? KG, what's happening with it? Salute. Todd Swindle, what it do? Big Block, what's happening with it? Push Up Music Media, what's happening with it? And y'all come in, like I said, smash the like button. When you get in the building, and I'm definitely gonna cook. I'm gonna cook on this. I don't have no vested interest. I like to call shit just how I see it. And so, I hear a lot of crying and complaining and bitching going on, but we're going to talk about it. David Frazier, what's happening with it? Johnny Q says, I rewatched it as well, still came to conclusion. Dev 8-4, that's me though. Yeah, a lot of people, they haven't watched the fight. They only watched the fight one time. Good thing is I like ESPN because if you buy a pay-per-view on ESPN, you can go back and watch it. Like you can go back and watch that fight as many times as you want. Also, you can watch it on more than one device. So salute to ESPN because Showtime need to get their shit right. You know what I'm saying? Like real talk, Showtime make me not even want to buy another pay-per-view on their network because you can't go, you buy it, you can't go back and watch it. You can't pause it. You know what I mean? You only can watch it on one device. So if you got it on your TV and you try to pull it up on your phone, they cut the TV off. You know what I'm saying? Like Showtime, that's one problem I got with Showtime. If they having niggas pay $90, damn near $100 for a pay-per-view, why can't I at least go back and watch the fight? So I'm not feeling that, but ESPN, man, salute to ESPN. It was cheaper, and they put on a great card. Also, I was able to watch it on more than one device, and I was able to go back and watch the fight. So, Willie Williams said the full fight already on YouTube. Well, I didn't know that because I actually paid for the fight. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all should have done. So I wasn't looking for the fight to be on YouTube because I paid for it. So everybody that's in the building, like I said, join on in. We're gonna cook on this Monday about everything that went down this past weekend. Hit the like button. If you're a hater, just hit the dislike button. Is what it is. So yeah. But one thing we do know, right? Most of all Gervonta Davis fans was going against Devin Haney. Most of all, you know, white fans, they going for Lomachenko. Let's just keep it 100. Most of all Latino fans, they was going for Lomachenko. So it was very, very few. And then most of all you niggas was, you know, that's Gervonta Davis fans. Y'all was going for Lomachenko also. So, you know, Devin Haney had very few people going for him. I was one of the ones going for Devin Haney, but it's like I really didn't, you know, whoever made the best man win, because people know I'm a Lomachenko fan also. I just felt that, you know, Devin Haney was on another level than Lomachenko, because Lomachenko's older. See, I was one of the ones that continued to tell people to stop shitting on Lomachenko. Stop saying that he's washed up, because Lomachenko wasn't washed up. I also told people that we're going to see one of the best versions of Lomachenko that we've ever seen, right? People let that Jermaine Ortiz shit, you know, just ruin the way they thought about Lomachenko. Even though he won that fight, people ran off with that, but not putting any consideration in that Lomachenko had been out of the ring when he fought Jermaine Ortiz for over a year. He had been dealing with that war over there, and I'm not saying he was on the front line, but he had been dealing with the situation with the war over there in the Ukraine. So it was a lot of shit. So it wasn't like he was training throughout the whole time he was over there in the Ukraine, you know, in the war or whatever. So, you know, I felt that we was going to get a rusty Lomachenko. He got that fight to knock some of the rust off. After that fight, he got right back in the gym, and I felt that we was going to see a much different Lomachenko than we saw in the Jermaine Ortiz fight, and that's what we saw. But like I said, I'm definitely going to break this fight down. I'm going to give y'all what I did is I was able to go back and watch the fight. I scored each round, round by round, and then I'm able to tell y'all why I scored the round like I scored it, because I got notes. So, you know, that's what I'm going to do today. Also, it was a lot of other great boxing that went on this weekend for sure. You know, man, that fight with Chantel Cameron and Katie Taylor, hell of a fight. I actually, you know, at the end, right before the fight was coming on, I picked Chantel Cameron to win the fight. I saw how she beat up Jessica McCaskill. I saw her boxing ability, you know, in previous fights. And I've seen Katie Taylor in a few tough fights where she got the decision that she shouldn't have got. I think one of them was Delphine Person. She got that decision, and Katie Taylor didn't win that first fight. So with that being said, I also felt that Chantel Cameron, it was a huge chance for her to get robbed, right? They fighting over there in Ireland. They're in Katie Taylor's hometown. So I was kind of on the fence about that. I felt that Chantel Cameron was a better fighter than Katie Taylor, but I also felt that she probably was going to get robbed. You know what I'm saying? But the good thing about it is she was out there. She went out there. She pressed Katie Taylor. She was a more active fighter. She landed the harder, bigger blows, and she didn't wear down. Like, you know, she stayed on Katie Taylor's helmet throughout the whole fight. You know, she never gave her no breathing room. It was a close fight. It was a hell of a fight. For anybody that didn't watch that fight, if you real boxing fans, go back and check out that fight, because that was a hell of a fight. Katie Taylor and Chantel Cameron. And Chantel Cameron, she gonna be a fucking problem. She finally knocked Katie Taylor off. And Coach Amber, salute to you, Queen. I see you in the building. She finally knocked Katie Taylor off and gave her her first L. See, I remember when they was saying that Katie Taylor was the best one female fighter in boxing. They was ranking her above Clarissa Shields. And I had a problem with that. I had a big problem with that when they was trying to act like that Katie Taylor was #1 pound for pound in women's boxing above Clarissa Shields. They was running with that campaign. They can't say that shit no more. But salute to Katie Taylor. Hell of a fighter. It ain't like, you know what I'm saying, she's a hell of a fighter, but she ran into somebody that was better than her. And Chantel Cameron, the thing that I hate about it is they didn't even let her celebrate, right? Eddie Hearn and them talking about she in the ring and they talking about we can't wait to do this again right back over here in Ireland. Why did she just beat Katie Taylor in her hometown and now y'all already got her set up to go back to Ireland for a rematch? Nah, it don't supposed to work like that. You know what I'm talking about? And I know Devin Haney had to go through that same shit, but that woman shouldn't have to go back to Katie Taylor's hometown and fight her again. She should be able to have that rematch in the UK in her home shit. But, you know, that's how boxing is. So whenever they set up this rematch, I'm already looking for, you know, them to have the judges in place to try to rob Chantel Cameron and, you know, make Katie Taylor undisputed and in her second weight division. Didn't work on Saturday night, though. That shit didn't work. So, like I said, if y'all didn't watch that fight, that was a hell of a fight. Hell of a fight with the ladies. My man, Sean Clark, what's happening with it in that super chat? He says, I was going for Dev as a Tank fan. Not every Tank fan a hater. I hear more Tank slander and nicknames than anything. Never called Dev Pillow Fist, though. Well, I never said that every Tank fan was a hater of Devin, but the majority of, not all of them, right? And not Tank fans. I'm talking about the Tank and I might have said Tank fans, but what I meant is the Tankamaniacs, right? It's a difference between, because I love to see Tank fight in the ring. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a fan of a lot of moves that he make, but I'm a fan of Tank. Ricky Williams, what's happening with it? Ricky in the building. I'm a fan of Tank. I'm talking about the Tankamaniacs. You know what I'm saying? So, and y'all know who y'all are, and y'all know exactly what that is. So I'm talking about them. And it's a whole lot of Tankamaniacs, and most of them was hoping that Devin Haney lost. Just for the simple fact so they can go and run and jump on social media, right? Jump on their platforms or whatever it may be, and say, I told you Devin ain't no Tank level. He ain't fucking with Tank. Instead of wanting to see the fight. You see what I'm saying? They want to see Devin Haney lose just for shit talking purposes. When that's actually what's wrong with us as a people. Yeah, and I'm gonna get in that shit later on, but you know, back to the focus at hand. But salute to Sean Clark. T Hunt, what's happening with it? Sean Clark said Katie been he says Katie Taylor been a good fighter, but they've been hype training her, and it ain't necessary. It's necessary because they have to have somebody over there that they can try to persuade people to think is better than Clarissa Shields. You see what I'm saying? They tried it with Savannah Marshall, and we know what happened when they actually fought. Now, they know that Katie Taylor and Clarissa Shields were never going to fight because the weights are too far apart. And so for we're gonna get into the Devin Haney Lomachenko fight. We're gonna get into that. Just hold your horses. So y'all dropping comments about the Devin Haney and Lomachenko fight. You don't waste no comments because, like I said, we're gonna get back to that. We're gonna get to that. It's other fights that took place. You know what I'm saying? If you're a real boxing fan, it is other fights that took place on that Saturday other than Haney and Lomachenko. You know what I'm saying? So I'm a real boxing fan. I'm here to talk about, the fights that took place, not just Devin Haney and Lomachenko. We're gonna get on that. We got a plenty enough time to talk about Devin Haney and Lomachenko. PLG Ski, what's happening with it? But so as far as the UK card, that's pretty much the only fight that I'm gonna talk about, because I did watch another card. It was a big upset on that card, but most people, if I talk about it, y'all ain't gonna give a fuck about that, because most people ain't really watching, all the boxing like that. So I'm not even going, waste my time. But that was a fight that I felt like I need to talk about, As far as the zone, they'll put on a lot of bullshit and a couple good fights. Oh shit, I lost my screen. Hold on, y'all. Okay. So as far as the ESPN card, right? Nico Ali Walsh, he's some fucking trash. I don't even want to see him fight again. Like, they're finding Nico Ali Walsh the easiest opponents they can find for him, and this motherfucker still can't whoop him. Like, Nico Ali Walsh is some trash. I'm sick of them shoving him down our throat. Oh, man, the legacy lives on. Nico Ali Walsh, the grandson of Muhammad Ali. Oh, Nico Ali Walsh. Like, I don't want to hear no more of that Nico Ali Walsh shit. He ain't got it. He's not it. They trying to build him up and just shove him down every time they have a motherfucking top rank event. Here come Nico Ali Walsh on the card. I don't want to see no more of Nico Ali Walsh. Send this motherfucker back to the amateur program or something, because he ain't got it. Like, god damn. Nico Ali Walsh. Like, no. Nobody wants to see him. Like, stop. You know what I'm saying? Stop trying to force us to want to act like that he's a top prospect coming up in boxing. He's not. He's sorry as hell. I'm sorry. But he go out there and get a draw against something. They hand-picking opponents like, okay, we know that he's supposed to beat this guy. Let's give him this guy. And he can't even beat him. So, yeah, they put his ass up in front of the camera again. And this time he actually lost the fight that they gave him a draw. But it is what it is. We know, we know what it is. As far as my man Jeremiah Nakatila, the fight that I was actually one of the biggest fights on that card that I was looking forward to the most is Jeremiah Nakatila versus Raymond Muratalla. Yeah, and I felt like I was going back and forth on that fight, because that was a big step up fight for Raymond Muratalla. Quee, what's going on with it, Quee? I see you in the building, right? So that was a fight that I was really looking forward to. I was kind of going back and forth because Raymond Muratalla, I know he can fight, but I also know that Nakatila can crack. You know what I'm saying? And I know that if Nakatila catch you in one of them wide-ass hooks that he be throwing, you might go to sleep. So it was a fight that I was really, really looking forward to. But one thing that I did notice, right? Top Rank, they think they slick. They think they slick because what they did is they put, and I'm not making no excuses for Nakatila, right? But Nakatila had over a year layoff. Nakatila hadn't fought since he knocked out Miguel Burchell. So they had him set on the shelf for over a year, and then they put him in the ring with one of the best up-and-coming prospects in boxing. Now he ain't a prospect no more. He's a contender, right? And y'all got to look at it, right? Muratalla fights every 2 months. He on a card. He fighting every 2-3 months. So they put him in there with somebody active, that's young, that's, you know what I'm saying, ain't never lost, and he on the rise. So when I looked at that, I said, yeah, I think Muratalla going to beat him, but I thought that it would probably be a stoppage, but I thought it would be a late stoppage, right? Thought it would be a late stoppage. Well, I was definitely wrong. Oh, yeah, I was wrong about that. Muratalla came out, and he got that man up out of there. Easy. Easy work. And what the first thing I noticed is Nakatila, he looked rusty. He was throwing wide looping shots. And you can't do that against somebody that's fundamentally sound and they got the boxing skills that Muratalla do and the power. He got the boxing skills and the power. And yeah, it was night. You know, I seen a couple people saying that the ref should have let it go on. Nah, Nakatila was out. You know what I'm saying? And if the ref had to let that fight go on, Nakatila was gonna go to sleep. To sleep. You feel me? Why do y'all keep coming in here? Do y'all hear me talking about Lomachenko or Devin Haney right now at this moment? Why the fuck are y'all coming in there putting scorecards? Loma 8-4, Loma 9-3. Like, can y'all not comprehend? Nobody talking about Loma and Devin right now at this minute. See, a motherfucker can't come in here and tell me how they scored a fight if they can't even if their attention span don't even last 5 minutes. Bro, y'all don't even have the attention span to score a goddamn fight. You really don't. You know what I'm saying? And if you type that shit in my, if you type in my shit one more time, you're going to get Loma, blocked. For real. God damn. Do you have an attention span to wait and realize that Lomachenko and Devin Haney wasn't the only fights on Saturday night? That's how I know you don't know shit about boxing and you're not real boxing fans. God damn. Fucking can't even stay on motherfucking point. You can't even stay with what we talking about right now. Motherfucking teacher telling you to motherfucking count numbers and you talk and you spelling and you saying your ABCs and shit. No, I told you to count to 10, you retarded motherfucker. And you in the class counting your ABCs. You was one of them kids. Can't stay on task for nothing. But anyway, you know what I'm saying? Back to what I was talking about. So, man, Raymond Muratalla, he's going to be a problem. You know, he's going to be a problem. I hear a lot of people already putting his name with Devin Haney and, you know, Shakur Stevenson and all those 135 pounders at Top Rank. And, hey, if he think he ready for it, you feel me? If he think he ready for the Shakur Stevensons, the Devin Haneys, the Lomachenko, or whoever it may be over at Top Rank, put his ass in there then. But we know that they don't move like that. They're going to continue to move Raymond Muratalla. You know, they're going to continue to build him and move him, and they're going to try to build him into a superstar. Cool, you know, but I like him, man. He can fight. I like him. And I've always liked him. So I'm looking forward to see, you know, who he fights next. They got to continue to build his resume. You know who I would love to see? I would love to see him and Keyshawn Davis. I know that ain't going to happen, right? You're not going to put two young fighters, you know, that's on the come up like that in there with each other. But I would love to see a Raymond Muratalla versus Keyshawn Davis. And Top Rank, real talk, Top Rank got a lot of motherfucking talent on that goddamn roster. And I hate that I missed, right? Because I didn't know the fight card was starting as early as it did. And I missed Abdullah Mason. So I got to go back on YouTube and try to find Abdullah Mason's fight. But Abdullah Mason too. Like I'm telling you, Top Rank got so much fucking talent, it's crazy. Boxiana, what's going on? I see you in the building. Karma Serene, what's going on with it? Sheena, what's going on with it, Queen? I see you in the building. But yeah, I think I saw Cassandra in the building too. Cassandra Mason in the building. I think I saw. I might have lost her. But yeah, so y'all, chill out. We gonna talk about Devin Haney. You dig what I'm saying? We gonna talk about Devin and Lomachenko. We gonna talk about that. But I would love to see, and Keyshawn Davis, man, he can fight his ass off. A lot of people talking about Keyshawn Davis. Keyshawn Davis can fight. Now the motherfucker get on my goddamn nerves. I'm not gonna lie. Keyshawn Davis, he get on my fucking nerves. He know how to get under people's skin. He run his mouth all the fucking time, but he can fight. I'm not gonna take that away from Keyshawn Davis. His ass can fight. But he just run his fucking mouth all the time, and I know how he rub people the wrong way. But see, me, I know how to separate that. Even though he get on my nerves, I know the motherfucker can fight. You don't win an Olympic silver medal without being able to know how to fight. He can fight his ass off, but, he just run his mouth too fucking much. And, a lot of y'all think he act a little zesty and shit. The motherfucker he just too animated. You know what I'm saying? He's too fucking animated for me. But I understand the game. You know what? Him being animated like that and him being able to fight, it's gonna make him, he gonna be able to sell. You feel me? So I understand the game. It is what it is. Him being so animated, him being able to get under people's skin is, if he continue to win, he gonna be a big name in the sport of boxing. He will, because he's already becoming a name in the sport of boxing just because people don't like his ass. He get on people's nerves. So whatever you got to do, I just say do it. He get on my nerves too, but I understand it. Coach Amber say she don't like cocky fighters. I do. I like cocky fighters. I like cocky football players, basketball players, if you can back it up. Now, if you just running your fucking mouth and acting cocky, like let me name some, and you ain't really got it like that, then you're gonna get on my fucking nerves. Even worse, even more. Like Rolly. But Rolly kind of funny though. You know what I'm saying? But Rolly, he cocky, he run his mouth a lot, but he can't fucking fight. All he got is power. Chris Colbert, right? Chris Colbert, yeah, man. Sean Clark, you hit the nail on the head. Chris Colbert is one of them motherfuckers that run his goddamn mouth. He get under my skin more than anybody. Blair Cobb, he run his fucking mouth and say a whole lot of ignorant shit, but I understand Blair Cobb because Blair Cobb is a fighter that he pretty much has to do that, right? He wasn't getting no shine over there, Golden Boy. So Blair Cobb had to do extra shit to get people to pay attention to him. You know what I'm saying? Even though he's not the fighter that he talk like he is. So I kind of understand, right? Gary Russell can fight. So, I mean, Gary Russell wouldn't even come into my head. Nah, Gary Russell could talk whatever shit he want to talk because the motherfucker can fight his ass off. You know what I'm saying? And been able to fight ever since a kid. So, but yeah, Chris Colbert, man. Chris Colbert ain't half as good as he tell you he is. So yeah, man. But moving on, right? Moving on to the co-main event. Let me chop it up about the co-main event real quick. Oscar Valdez and Blue Nose, right? In the Oscar Valdez and the Blue Nose fight, Bruce Gas, what's happening with it? Dankfather, what's happening with it? In the Oscar Valdez and Blue Nose fight, that's when I really started noticing that I've seen it before, but I'm talking about on that night, on Saturday night, that's when I really started noticing how ESPN already have the way they're going to commentate a fight, right? How they already have that shit fixed. That was some of the worst commentating that I ever heard, ever, in that Oscar Valdez and Adam Blue Nose fight, right? Because I'm sitting there watching Oscar Valdez have hell trying to cut off the ring against Adam Blue Nose. I'm also sitting there watching Adam Blue Nose hit Oscar Valdez with jabs, hooks, left hooks, right hooks, hit him with everything. And Oscar Valdez is just walking in, head straight on the fucking line. He ain't getting his head off the line, not cutting off the ring, and he's getting just hit everywhere, right? Now, Oscar Valdez was walking him down, and when he was able to catch up to Adam Blue Nose, he was hitting him with the harder shots. You know what I'm saying? Much harder shots. He was hitting him with clean, hard shots. But the thing is, he was taking like 5 or 6 punches every time he'll come in to get his shit off. And I'm noticing that, right? I'm sitting there looking at that. But I'm also listening to Tim Bradley and Andre Ward. Oh my God, this is the best we've seen Oscar Valdez. Man, the time off really helped out. Look at Oscar Valdez. He looks amazing tonight. Oscar Valdez, this. And I'm like, the fuck fight is they watching? I'm watching Oscar Valdez not cut off the ring, miss wide-ass looping shots while getting hit with everything, trying to cut off the ring and trying to get to Valdez, trying to get to Blue Nose. And he's doing the same shit over and over. And y'all talking about this is the best Oscar Valdez you have ever seen. The time off really helped him. Oh my God, look at Oscar Valdez. Oscar Valdez really doing the job. And I'm like, man, this shit is crazy right here. Because I'm not no fucking Adam Blue Nose fan. I'm thinking that I had picked Blue Nose to get knocked out. I honestly thought that Oscar Valdez was going to go in there and knock him out, you know, within like 8 or 9 rounds. But I'm watching the fight and I'm like, hold on. Am I missing something? And the crazy thing is, I'm watching it and in my head, I'm like, what the fuck are they talking about? But I'm not saying nothing. And Gina, she's watching it and she's like, babe, like, what the fuck are they talking about? Who is that talking? She's like, who is that talking? Because Oscar Valdez ain't doing the motherfucking thing that they saying he's doing. And I said, that's actually right now who you hear talking is Andre Ward. And she's like, what? Andre Ward? That's him saying that? And I'm like, yeah, that's actually Andre Ward. And I didn't even want to say it because y'all know Andre Ward is one of my favorite all-time fighters. But that just lets you know that they already had made out how they was going to call that fight. See, they thought the same thing that I thought, that Oscar Valdez was going to go in there and dominate the fight, right? And get Blue Nose up out of there. But see, they thought that, but they continued to call the fight that way. I thought that, and I'm like, damn, that ain't what I'm seeing. Sheena, okay, she right here next to me working. Sheena says, she said, shout out to the queen. She said, hello, Sheena. Let me get to y'all, some of y'all comments. Let me get to some of y'all comments because I know y'all commenting here. Let me see. Let me see. Quee say Oscar used his face for defense. Definitely did. Man, that boy looked like he had severe acne on his face after that fucking fight. For real. That motherfucker needed some proactive after that fight. Rick James says exactly, bad commentating. I believe Sheena was saying that she was saying the exact same thing Gina was. Like, that shit was crazy. It was crazy, you know, and they need to fix that. They need to fix that shit. Because one thing that I like about Showtime is you don't get biased commentary on Showtime. Like, if Rolly was getting his ass beat, they was telling you that Rolly was getting his ass beat. You feel what I'm saying? Like, that shit that they be doing over there on ESPN, it just puts a sour taste in your mouth. Puts a sour taste in your mouth. And it takes away from the great cards that they put on. Because I think that ESPN, they put on the most competitive fight cards. They put on great fight cards. They know how to throw an event. Look how they did that pay-per-view. They put that shit together well. Everything was put together well. But it's just they take away from it with the commentary. Ultimate Fight Club, what's happening with it, Junior? He say commentary in that fight and the main event was crazy as hell. It was crazy. It was ridiculous. It's fucking ridiculous. Aiden, what's happening with it? Salute. Specs, what it do? In the super chat, salute to you. And I appreciate y'all coming through in the super chat, man, supporting the channel. So, all in all, I didn't score the fight with Oscar Valdez in Blue Nose. I wasn't scoring the fight, so I can't tell you that, I thought Oscar Valdez won by this many points, or I thought I was just watching the fight. And like I said, it kind of set me back because I'm like, what the fuck are they talking about? Like they was bothering me because how they was calling the fight. So I didn't score the fight. I'm not going to say that Oscar Valdez lost the fight. You dig what I'm saying? Because he definitely was landing the more cleaner, harder shots. I think Blue Nose was landing more shots from my eye. I don't go by that CompuBox bullshit because CompuBox is some bullshit. And we're going to talk about that shit later. So I don't go by the CompuBox. I go by what I see when I'm watching the fight. Blue Nose, he was landing a lot more shots, but they was pity-pat shots that wasn't really doing no damage, except for giving Valdez a whole lot of acne on his motherfucking face. But I didn't score the fight. I don't have a problem with them giving the fight to Oscar Valdez because I know what it is. They wouldn't finna let Adam Blue Nose, a motherfucker that got a record like 10-8 or whatever his record is, win that fight. You see what I'm saying? He was put in there to lose the fight. They wasn't going to let him fuck up the money between Oscar Valdez and Navarrete. So, yeah, I mean, I don't, but I just didn't like how they called the fight. At least call the fight down the middle. And Coach Amber in that super chat, she says, to clarify, I like good shit talkers, but cocky, disrespectful fighters I can't stand. I don't like it. Really don't bother me if you can back it up. You know what I'm saying? It don't bother me if you can back it up. But Keyshawn Davis, he kind of like he just go too fucking far. He talk too fucking much. Just shut the fuck up sometime. You feel what I'm saying? Like I don't know. But he can fight. So I ain't gonna take that shit away from him. His ass can fight. But anyway, so now y'all smash the like button. We gonna get to the main event now. I want y'all smash the like button so we can finally cook on the main event. Like I said, I hate that I missed Abdullah Mason because that boy is a fucking problem. And I'm gonna go back and watch his fight if I can find it on YouTube. But we definitely gonna get to the main event. So let's get to it. You know what I'm saying? Let's get to it. Let me get my phone out because, like I said, right, if y'all watch my live that I did, the post-fight live, I told y'all, I said I might have had Devin Haney edging it. I said it could have been a draw. I said, but it was a very, very close fight. I told y'all that I really couldn't give my complete assessment of who I felt won the fight because I said I got to go watch the fight again. I said it was a very close fight. I said when it's a close fight like that, I don't like to just jump on, you know what I'm saying, get in my feelings and say who won the fight and all of that because you can't do that if it's a close fight, right? Some of y'all need to understand if it's a close fight like that, you need to go watch the fight more than once. At least 2 times, go watch the fight. Because, see, this is the thing, right? If you are in the arena, if one fighter is the favorite, right? So we know that people in the arena, right? You got, what was it, like 17,000 some fans in the arena. The majority of the fans that was in the arena were going for Lomachenko. Devin Haney is the most hated fighter in all of boxing, in my opinion, by far. So the majority of the fans were going for Lomachenko. So you in the arena, and I wasn't in the arena. I watched it at home. But you in the arena every time, and I heard it, right? I'm hearing it on my TV. Every time Lomachenko throws a flurry, whether it lands or not, the crowd is screaming and shouting and jumping up and down, right? The same thing was happening when Chantel Cameron and Katie Taylor fought. Katie Taylor was fighting in her hometown. Every time Katie Taylor threw any punches, whether they landed or not, the whole crowd erupted. Conor McGregor, everybody that was in the crowd was screaming and roaring and hollering, right? So, with that being said, if you have a crowd and the crowd is majority for one fighter, that shit can sway you when you're watching the fight live, right? Everybody jumping up and down, right? You watching the fight at home, you probably watching it with other people around you. You probably got the volume turned up, right? Now, one thing with ESPN that I noticed when I first watched the fight, right? When I first watched the fight, and like I said, I thought it was a very close fight when I first watched it. I thought that it could have been a draw. I wouldn't have had a problem if they had Lomachenko winning by 1 point. I wouldn't have had a problem if they had Devin Haney winning. And also, when I first watched the fight, I said I didn't like the 116 to 112 scorecard. I thought that was crazy when I first watched the fight, right? Now, also, when I first watched the fight, I'm watching it just like everybody else. I had the volume up, and one thing I noticed that, oh my God, Vasyl Lomachenko, he is in the Matrix. Vasyl Lomachenko. Oh, look at the flurry. If everything was Lomachenko, Tim Bradley, Mark Kriegel, they screaming to the top of their voice. Oh, Lomachenko's back. He's Lomachenko. He's the great all time. This is why Lomachenko is Lomachenko. I'm also seeing every time they go to replay, right, especially from probably like round 6 on, every time they go to replay, they're only showing Lomachenko replays. And I noticed that while I was watching the fight. But I'm going to give y'all my honest assessment, right? I'm going to tell y'all how I had it when I first watched the fight on TV, and then when I actually got a chance to go back and watch the fight, right? So, you know, I think I'm listening to all of that. You can't help but to let that shit kind of sway you, right? And I also came into the fight, right, with preconceived thoughts. My thoughts, and I told everybody, was, look, Devin Haney has to win this fight 10 rounds to 2, at least 9 rounds to 3 at the very least, and Devin Haney has to win 9 of those rounds clearly to where he dominating the round, to where they can't take the fight away from him. So when I went into the fight, that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for Devin Haney to be dominating these motherfucking rounds in order for him to win the fight, because I felt that if the rounds were close, if it was a close fight, I felt that Devin Haney was going to get robbed. So I wasn't looking for Devin Haney to go in there and box close rounds with Lomachenko, even though I was one of the main ones that told y'all that Lomachenko is still one of the best fighters at 135, that Lomachenko was not washed up, and I felt that Lomachenko could give Devin Haney a very hard fight, but I also felt that Devin Haney knew the task at hand. Whatever I got to do, make these rounds look easy. And I'm watching the fight, right? The first time I watched, and I said he didn't do that. So when the fight came down to, when the fight was over, well, when it came down to I think after the 9th round, I said to Gina, I said, Devin Haney, he got to win these next 3 rounds convincingly. Didn't I say that? Yeah. I said he got to win these next 3 rounds convincingly, or he's not going to win this fight. You know what I'm saying? I said these judges is not going to give him this fight. So once the fight was over, to me, he didn't win he didn't win them like I wanted him to win them, right? I said, nah, they ain't going to give him the fight. And I said to her, I said, I think that Devin Haney edged it, but he didn't win the fight because, to me, he didn't do the clear enough work to basically make it a landslide victory like I was looking for. So that's what I'm coming into the fight already looking for. I didn't think they were going to give him no close decision. So when they gave him the decision, I'm not finna lie to y'all, I was shocked. I thought they were going to rule the fight for Lomachenko. Real talk. So I came and I did a live. And for y'all who watch my live stream, I said I wasn't really going to talk about who I thought won the fight until I went back and watched the fight, right? So I went back and I got a chance to watch the fight. That same night, I watched rounds 1 through 6 and I went to sleep. And I woke in, but after every round, I wrote notes. So I'm going to read y'all my notes. And I wrote who won the round and why they won the round. So I can tell you why I picked who I picked and who won the round, right? When I woke up, I watched the rest of the round 7 through 12 when I woke up, and I did the same thing. So this is where we at, right? This is who I had winning the fight. I don't have nothing invested in neither one of these fighters. I don't, like me, I just want to be able to score a fight to, when it's a close fight, to be able to say who really won the fight, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? And that's exactly what I'm going to do. So round 1, right? We go into round 1. These are notes that I put. I said it was a close round, but I thought that Haney controlled the whole round 1 up until the end. At the end, I thought that Lomachenko, he tried to come with a flurry, but it wasn't enough for me, right? Because Haney had pretty much controlled that whole round into the end of the round. So I gave the first round to Devin Haney, right? The second round, I said round 2, I said it was another very, very close round. Round 2 was a very close round to me. I said Loma landed the cleaner punches, but it was a very close round, and it could have went either way. That round I gave to Lomachenko, right? Gave it to Lomachenko because I thought that he landed the cleaner, the harder shots. It was a nip and tuck round, but that round I'm like, okay, I'm going to give it to the man who I thought was landing the harder shots, and I gave that round 2 to Lomachenko, right? Round 3, I said round 3 was another very, very close round. I said I felt that Devin controlled the ring and backed Loma up. He was effective with his jab in round 3. So I felt that, you know, the only thing that Devin was really effective with, but he did hit Lomachenko with some body shots. He was more effective with his jab in round 3, but I thought that Loma landed the cleaner blows. He landed the cleaner blows. When I'm going back and I was looking at it and slowing it down, Loma, he landed the cleaner blows in that round. So I gave that round to Lomachenko. So at this point, I have 1 round for Devin and 2 rounds for Loma. Now, when round 4 comes, I say, when round 4 came, I said, I gave it to Haney. I thought it was a pretty clear round for Haney in round 4. I thought he controlled the fight, right? He backed Loma down, and he landed the cleaner shots and more effective shots, even to the body. He landed a lot of body shots that was clean to me in round 4. So through 4 rounds, I got it tied up 2-2, right? This is just my scorecards. In round 5, I said round 5 was very close, but I thought that Haney pressed the action and landed more cleaner shots with his body work. Round 5, I gave it to Devin Haney. In round 6, I said Haney controlled the round with his jab, kept Loma on the outside, and landed clean, effective body shots. In round 6, I gave it to Haney, right? Round 7, and mind you, right, before I continue on, mind you, some of these rounds that I said that was very, very close, I had to go back and watch them 3 or 4 times before I scored the round. Like, I rewind it back and I would watch it again because some of those rounds were that close, right? Also, when a round is that close, how I scored a round, right? How you're supposed to score the round, for people that don't know, you scored a round for the champion, right? If you're looking at a round and you like, I can't really figure out who won that round. Like, it was that close. I want to give the round a draw. That round is supposed to go to the champion. because the challenger is supposed to be able to take that round from the champion. That's how it's supposed to be scored. But I noticed that a lot of people were giving all the close rounds to Lomachenko. If it was a swing round that could have went either way, y'all were giving it to Lomachenko, but Lomachenko is not the champion. You don't score a swing round that's pretty much even for Lomachenko. Or, you know what I'm saying, if he's not the champion. Now, if Loma's the champion, you score those rounds for Loma. But anyway, so round 6, I gave to Devin. I said that he controlled the round with his jab. Loma, he kept Loma on the outside, and he landed to clean, effective body shots. In round 7, I said round 7 was also a Devin Haney round for me. And the reason I scored it for Devin landed more clean shots, mostly to the body, and he landed the most effective shot in that round with a clean uppercut, with a clean hook. I'm sorry. He landed the most effective shot in round 7 with a clean hook. I said Loma was active, but he was missing, and Dev would tie him up and make him reset when he got in range. So what was happening in that round, Lomachenko in round 7, he was very active. He was throwing a lot of flurries, but what he was doing is he was overshooting his shots, and they would end it up, and they would come together and bang chest, right? And when they would come in on the inside, Devin would start roughing Lomachenko up on the inside. He wasn't throwing punches landing on the inside, but he was kind of like wrestling them and roughing them up, right? So Loma was active, but he wasn't landing those shots in round 7. So I gave that round to Devin Haney. Now, CompuBox through 7 rounds had Devin Haney landing 70. I'm sorry. CompuBox numbers through 7 rounds had Devin Haney landing 70 punches, and he threw 242 punches at a 29% connect rate, right? Lomachenko had landed 60 punches, but he threw 315 at a 20% connect rate. So this is what CompuBox had. I don't really go off of CompuBox because that be some bullshit a lot of times. And I'm going to talk about that when we get to one of these rounds, how CompuBox was some straight bullshit. But like I said, they had Haney through 7 rounds, they had Haney landing more and throwing a lot less, right? That's just, you know, if that's what y'all want to go off of. But I don't go off of CompuBox. Now, in round 8, I said neither fighter did anything that stood out in round 8. Barely any punches landed cleanly. And this is with both fighters. Devin landed a few clean body shots and a few jabs. Loma landed a couple straights. I gave it to Devin because he was the champion. Now, this is one of those rounds where I went back and I had to watch the round. Probably I rewinded it 3 times. And I'm looking at round 8 and I'm like, neither one of these fucking fighters is really doing anything that stands out that put them over the other. Like, it wasn't a lot of clean shots landed in round 8 with Lomachenko nor Devin Haney, but it could have been a draw, right? So you can score that round a draw, but I didn't score the round a draw. I gave it to Devin because he's the champion. So like I said, the challenger got to take the round from the champion, in my opinion. Now, if you score it differently and you score a draw, okay. But you cannot give all of these swing rounds, these close rounds, to Lomachenko just because you don't like Devin Haney or because you don't know how to fucking score a fight. That's not how it's supposed to be scored. So I gave round 8 to Vasyl Lomachenko. I said if you had it a draw, I don't have no problem with that. Round 9. I said round 9 is another very close round. I said Loma came out and landed some big straight lefts, some big straight rights. Loma came out, he landed some big straight rights and caught Devin clean in round 9. Devin came back, was more aggressive, and landed more clean body shots and some jabs in that round. I gave the round to Loma because I think that he threw I think the few shots that he landed were more effective and more clean than what Devin threw in that in round number 9. So I thought that Loma, you know, although Devin was real aggressive in round number 9, he had some good body work. I gave 9 to Loma because I felt that Loma, he had the more hard, effective shots that he threw, and it was the cleaner shots. You know what I'm saying? Like they was getting all the way through. He threw the cleaner shots. So I gave that round 9 to Lomachenko. Now, number 10, right? And I actually want to pull round number 10 up and watch this shit because this is a round that I literally rewind 3 times and went back and watched it because I heard everybody saying, man, Lomachenko, he won round number 10 and 11 so fucking clear. He dominated round 10 and 11. And I'm listening to people say that. So I'm like, when I watched it, I'm like, did I miss some shit? So I rewind it again. And I watched the number 10 again. And I said, did I miss some shit again? So let me go back a 3rd time. Well, actually a 4th time, right? And watch round number 10. And I said, what the fuck is people talking about? So this is my notes that I put in for round number 10. I said it was another very close round that neither fighter really did. He didn't really do that much. I said Loma threw a lot of flurries, but he was missing the shots, right? Loma landed a couple straight rights, while Devin landed a few body shots and jabs. Both fighters kept coming together, smothering each other's work and overshooting their shots. It was a very hard round to score. I gave it round to Haney because Loma did nothing to take the round at all. Haney round number 10. Now go back and watch that round number 10. Just because he's throwing a lot of shots, but he's missing the shots, you know, he like that landslide shit in round number 10, that shit really tripped me out. I also wrote more notes on round 10. On round 10, they had CompuBox, right? Had Lomachenko landing 11 shots, 11 punches landed, and they had Haney landing 5 punches, right? Which was complete bullshit because, like I said, I went and watched that round 3 times after me originally watching it the first times. Nobody landed no 11 punches in that round. Nobody landed 11 punches in that round. Now, if you say that you want to give that round to Lomachenko because it was too close and you just like Lomachenko, well, then say that. That fucking round was a landslide for neither Devin nor Lomachenko. And the only reason I gave it to Devin, like I said, Devin didn't do nothing in that round spectacular to me at all, right? But the only reason I gave it to Devin because I feel like that Devin Haney is the champion and Lomachenko didn't do enough to take that round from the champion. If that's how you're supposed to score fights, that's how you're supposed to score. So as you can see, it's a lot of very, very close rounds that could go either way. But my opinion is that if Lomachenko is the champion, they're giving him all of those close rounds because Devin is not doing nothing to, you know, basically pull himself apart from the competition and take the round. In this case, Devin is the champion and Lomachenko's not doing anything to, you know, separate himself from Devin Haney and take the round. Now, round number 11 was one of the clearest rounds for me to score. Round number 11 wasn't close at all. It was a Lomachenko round. I felt that Lomachenko won that round easily. And my notes said that it was the most effective round through that whole fight for Devin Haney or Vasyl Lomachenko. It was the most effective round. And that was for Lomachenko. I felt that Lomachenko, he landed some big shots in that round. He landed some the clean shots in that round. He put Devin on the back foot. And, you know, now, did he hurt Devin in that round? Nah. When I first watched it live, I thought Devin might have been a little hurt. When I went back and watched it, he didn't hurt Devin, but he was landing. He landed a few big shots in that round. And he did the clean work, and Lomachenko won round 11 clearly. It's no doubt about round 11. It shouldn't be, nobody should have scored round 11 for Devin Haney, right? And then let's go to round 12. So round 12, I said it was a very, very close round. It was another close round. I said Loma landed the cleaner headshots. Devin pushed Loma backwards, controlled the pace, and landed clean body shots in round 12. Neither fighter did anything to stand out over the other fighter, but I gave the round to Devin Haney. He's the champ, and Loma didn't do enough to take round 12. He kind of laid off a little bit, at the end of round 12, and Devin Haney was still pressing the action. So with that being said, I gave round 12 to Devin Haney, right? So when I tallied up my score, the first time I told y'all that 116 to 112 score was crazy to me when I watched it, for the first time. When I tallied up my score, I had it 116 to 112. Devin Haney won the fight. Now, 116 to 112, I had it Devin Haney, 8 rounds to 4 for Devin Haney. Now, like I said, if anybody wanted to take any of those swing rounds, right, and give it to Vasyl Lomachenko, or not even give it to Vasyl Lomachenko, if anybody wanted to take some of those swing rounds and say it was a draw, I don't have no problem with that, right? But Devin Haney being the champion, to me, you cannot sit up here and rewatch this fight with me and show me where Vasyl Lomachenko won this motherfucking fight. That's why I told everybody I got to go watch it again. I don't know. It could have been draw. It could have been Lomachenko win by 1 round. It could have been Devin Haney winning by 1 round. I thought it was close. When I rewatched the fight, Devin Haney won the fight 116 to 112. Now, I know a lot of y'all, first of all, you're just looking for Devin Haney to lose because you don't like Devin Haney. For 2, a lot of y'all don't know shit about boxing. You couldn't fucking score a boxing fight if you went to a goddamn seminar for 2 straight years. You know what I'm saying? Some of y'all don't know how to score a fight because, like I said, people running around talking about it was a robbery. It was a robbery. You obviously, all of those swing rounds, right? All of those swing rounds that were very, very close rounds, what y'all were doing is y'all were giving all of those rounds to Lomachenko. How can you give the champion, right? I mean, how can you give the contender all of those swing rounds? You don't score a fight like that. You don't score a fight like that. You feel what I'm saying? Y'all motherfuckers is retarded. You know what I'm saying? But see, I also understand is that most boxing fans, they just gonna run their mouth, right? They're not gonna keep it real. They're not gonna go back and watch a fight to really look at the fight to see, okay, can I score this fight unbiased, take all the bullshit out the window, and can I really, really sit down and score the fight? Y'all can't do that. See, I'm a fan of Lomachenko. I'm a fan of Devin Haney. I've been a fan of Lomachenko longer than I was a fan of Devin Haney. So I didn't have nothing invested. If I felt that Lomachenko won the fight, I would have been the first one to come on here and tell y'all, you know what? Lomachenko, he won the fight. But that wasn't the case. Also, like I was saying in the beginning, if you got every replay that's showing you all Lomachenko highlights, you mean to tell me that Devin Haney didn't have no highlights? You mean to tell me the only highlights y'all could pull up was Lomachenko highlights in a fight where a lot of those rounds were nip and tuck rounds, very, very close, but you couldn't find no highlights to show a Devin Haney? Something is wrong. You mean to tell me Mark Kriegel and motherfucking Tim Bradley is shouting to the fucking top of their lungs and everything you hear is Lomachenko, oh, Vasyl Lomachenko, in a fight where all those rounds was close, but all you were saying is Lomachenko? So networks, ESPN as a network, right? Commentators, everybody that's working at broadcast, they know that most boxing fans are casuals. Most boxing fans don't know what the fuck they watching. They also know that most boxing fans are going to halfway watch a fight. They're not going to go back and watch the fight. And boxing fans are going to be persuaded by how they commentate the fight and who the crowd is cheering for, right? Boxing fans are going to be persuaded by how the commentators are calling the fight and who the crowd is cheering for. That's why they commentate the fight how they commentate the fight. You can't help what the crowd does because the crowd gonna have their favorite. It's always gonna be a favorite and a villain. Devin Haney is the villain, straight up and down. It is what it is. Yeah, I mean, you know, so for people running around crying, talking about it's a robbery, we already know what it is with y'all. You know what I'm saying? We already know what it is. Like this, y'all just making yourself look and sound fucking stupid because a fight, when you got all of those rounds that close, it's impossible for it to be a robbery. Do y'all know the definition of a robbery? A robbery is when a fighter like Andre Dirrell fights Carl Froch and clearly wins motherfucking 10 rounds to 2, and they get a fight to Carl Froch. A robbery is when you get Pernell Sweet Pea Whitaker that damn near won every round versus Chavez, and they tell you that the fight is a draw. A robbery is when you get Jackson Marinez and Rolando Romero fight each other. Jackson Marinez damn near win every round, outboxes Rolly damn near every round, and they come back and they tell you that Rolly won the fight. That's a motherfucking robbery. Y'all don't know what the fuck a robbery is. And I expect, right? I'm going to keep it 100 over here. Y'all can feel how y'all feel. I expect the white fan base to go with their fighter. Their fighter is Vasyl Lomachenko. Salute to all of the white fans, right? The Caucasian fans, right? I don't have no problem with that. Of course, Paulie Malignaggi is going to fucking get on and cry about the shit, right? Because he's going for the fighter that he can most relate to. He's going for the white fighter. White fans are going for the white fighter, right? You also have the Latino fan base. Most of the Latino fan base, they usually go for the goddamn white fighter. You know what I'm saying? If it's not a Mexican fighter that they in there against, they're going to go for the white fighter. They ain't going for the nigger. Like, they just not. Let's just keep it 100. And not only that, right? Not only that, Devin Haney is not liked. They don't, you know what I'm saying? He's not a fighter that a lot of fight fans like. For whatever reason, they don't like him. Devin Haney is not liked. Right? Gervonta Davis has a huge fan base. Gervonta Davis got a huge black fan base. He got a huge Mexican fan base. He just got a huge fan base, period. And we know that most of the Tankomaniacs, not just the Tank fans, because a lot of Tank fans, they're going to keep it 100, but then he has a lot of maniacs that just fucking will jump in front of a goddamn train or a bus for Tank Davis to defend him. They don't fuck with Devin Haney. So like I said before, they was wanting Devin Haney to lose low-key so they can run around and talk shit. But my problem is, right, reason I said what I was saying, my problem is, right, is, and I'm going to keep it real, right, because y'all know that with me over here on my channel, I don't go for a fighter because of what skin complexion they got. I like all type of fighters. You know what I'm saying? I got fighters that's my favorite. I got fighters that's I rock with heavy that's black. I got fighters that I rock with heavy that's white. Vasyl Lomachenko, I rock with him heavy. I rock with Caleb Plant Heavy. You know, I like Joey Spencer, even though he ain't really like that, but I like him. And I got fighters that I rock with that's black, white. David Benavidez, one of my favorite fighters. So it ain't about that to me, right? But the problem that I have with you motherfuckers that got the same skin complexion as me, right? I'm not speaking on the Latino fans. I'm not speaking on the white fans because I'm not Latino and I'm not white. So I can't tell them how they supposed to feel about somebody that don't look like them, right? But I'm talking to the ones that got the same skin complexion as me. For y'all to be fucking running around, crying, acting like some stone cold bitches, talking about, oh man, they did Lomachenko wrong. They did, man, I ain't never watching boxing again. Man, this is what's wrong with boxing. They did that man wrong. Y'all some motherfucking, like for real, like something is wrong with y'all. You are never gonna see Paula Malignaggi run around for no motherfucking black fighter or your black ass crying, talking about they did you wrong. They're not finna do that. They're just not. And that's what's wrong with us as a people. You don't see Mexican people doing that shit. When Canelo fought motherfucking Lara, you didn't see motherfucking Hispanics running around talking about, man, they did Lara wrong. Man, fuck that. I ain't never buying another fight again. Lara got did wrong, man. It was a robbery. Lara beat Canelo. You don't hear no motherfucking Mexicans running around saying that shit. And you never will. When Chavez fought motherfucking Sweet Pea Whitaker, and everybody know, even his own fans knew that Whitaker won that fight, right? You wasn't seeing them fucking running up. They was happy. You wasn't seeing them running around talking about Chavez got fucking robbed and this. Man, y'all, something wrong with you motherfuckers. But see, something been wrong with us as a people for a long fucking time. Before I was even thought about being on this earth. So that's that shit that bothers me, right? It's okay to go for Vasyl Lomachenko and say, you know what? I think that Lomachenko won, but it was a close fight, but you know it happens in boxing. For you motherfuckers to be running around crying and shouting, and that shit is disgusting to me. Man, they did it wrong, man. I don't even want to watch boxing no more, man. Lomachenko should have. And that shit that Shakur did. Y'all know that I rock with Shakur, right? Y'all know that Shakur is one of my favorite fighters. I think that Shakur beats everybody at 135. But that shit that he did, that was some whole ass shit that Shakur did. Talking about, oh man, they did, man, I felt bad for Lomachenko. If they ever rob your ass, I guarantee you, like I said, you're not going to see the Paulie Malignaggi's in them running around crying for your ass, talking about fucking they feel bad for you and you was robbed, and they're not finna do that. You see, it just don't work like that. So that shit is crazy to me. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I'm talking to my people, the ones that look like me. I'm not talking to the white fans because I expect the white fans to say it was a robbery. We was going for, y'all have every right to fucking go for Vasyl Lomachenko. It's not wrong because white people want to go for Lomachenko. But I'm just saying, man, y'all that look like me, you motherfuckers y'all disgust me for real talk. And y'all know who y'all are too. And if you feel offended, I'm talking to you. Real talk. So if anybody feel offended, yeah, I'm talking to you. If you was running around crying and shouting, man, they did it wrong, man. I'm just so fucking devastated. Why are you devastated when you clearly can see that fight was a close-ass fight? Like, for real. It ain't that much fucking hate in the world that you should have for your own people. Real talk. Shit it's ridiculous, you know? And Nelly, all of y'all, like that it was just, that shit was bad. That shit was it was horrible because you don't see that on the other you don't see other races doing that shit. You don't, and you won't see it. When Teofimo Lopez lost to George Kambosos and he clearly lost, you had his people coming up defending him. He was sick. The man couldn't breathe. He couldn't do that and he couldn't do this. They were defending him. You know what I'm saying? When Lomachenko lost to motherfucking Teofimo Lopez, the white fan base was saying that Lomachenko got robbed. Lomachenko's shoulder was hurting. Teo ain't winning that fight. And I'm not saying that we have to do that, right? Because I'm an advocate of keeping it real, whoever won the fight, right? If you feel, but y'all ain't got to do all that extra shit when it's a close fight like it was. That fight was a close fight. You know what I'm saying? Like, we should just be happy that we got to see a great fight. In my eyes, the judges did a fucking great job. Everybody was shitting on Carl Moretti, talking about, I don't know how it was 116 and 112. I said the same thing myself. I said, I didn't know how I was 116 and 112. I went back and watched the fight. I said, damn, I had it 116 and 112. Shout out to Carl Moretti. You know what I'm saying? They talking about, oh, we're going to contest. Lomachenko team talking about you're going to contest. The fuck you going to, you know that y'all didn't win that fight clearly. If Lomachenko felt that he edged the fight out, cool. I don't have a problem with that. But that motherfucker know that fight was close, that it could have went either way. Him being in the ring. So what the fuck are they talking about? They're going to contest, right? I even heard them say that they're going to check out Lomachenko's shoulder to make sure that his shoulder is all right. Fuck you mean to make sure? So every time Lomachenko lose, something wrong with his shoulder? I'm just asking. So now all of a sudden, he lost another fight, and all of a sudden, something wrong with his shoulder again. So they said that they wanted to contest the fight, and they also wanted to check it out and make sure that his shoulder was all right. Now, if y'all remember, right, Lomachenko said that one thing that he learned in the fight with Teofimo Lopez is that his ego was too big. Well, obviously, he ain't learned shit because he can't accept defeat. It's always a fucking excuse when he loses. Sound like Teofimo Lopez to me. Instead of saying, you know what, it was a close fight, you know, I take my hat off to Devin Haney. You know, I felt that, you know, I edged it out, but it was a close fight, you know, whatever. He running around crying, talking about, they talking about it was a fucking robbery. He won the fight easily. They contesting the judges' scorecards, and then topping it off by, we got to go and check out to make sure his shoulder is okay. But ain't none of y'all niggas talking about that though, right? Y'all ain't talking about that, huh? My man, Sean Clark said, especially with our history in boxing, how they did some of our greats like Joe Louis to how they play us now, we should be supporting it. We should be supporting us in the sport 100. Shit crazy. Like I said, I don't want nobody to lie if they feel like that one man won the fight, regardless of what his skin color is. You don't got to lie about it, but that shit that a lot of us is doing, that shit is fucking, is disgusting. Big Dose, I see you in the building. What's happening with it? And y'all make sure that y'all smash on the like button. You know, I know it's a lot of haters in here. You know what I'm saying? I know it's a lot of haters in here because they don't like the real. They don't like to hear shit that's real. But I'm going to tell it like it is, you know. I'm not finna hold my tongue for nobody. It is what it is. You can like it, you can hate it. But you know, like I said, smash on the like button, and we cooking. Now, this clown ass nigga said, I'm saying nothing real, but you in here listening to me. So I'm saying nothing real, but you in here on my platform, on my channel, listening to me. And you just typed in my motherfucking chat. So are you extremely retarded or very retarded? Which one is it? You very, very retarded or just fucking super extreme retarded? Make it make sense. But anyway. And Samuel, I was talking to niggas like you. So I hope you feel offended. For real. He talking about, we all know Loma won, robbery, so what? Whatever. The fact Haney struggled with Loma is a problem. Now what? Shakur and Tank next in line. What the, yeah, you felt offended. I'm going to put you up here since you want some, you felt offended, so I was talking to you. You know what I'm saying? You know, I was talking to you. You see, his skin color right there, he looked like mine. So yeah, I'm talking to you. So you felt some type of way, yeah, and I was talking to you. Anyway. So now you got your motherfucking, your 5 seconds of fame. You know what I'm saying? So go ahead and go tap dance. Go ahead and tap dance off and shit. Anyway, now moving on, right? Moving on. Shakur Stevenson. He said he wanted to smoke before, you know what I'm saying? He said he wanted to smoke. Bill Haney, he said they were staying at 135. Bill Haney was going around on all of the platforms saying that Devin ain't going nowhere. We stand right here at 135. We want to smoke with the best of the best. We want to smoke with Shakur. We want to smoke with Tank Davis. And I continue to say, Bill Haney needs to stop doing that shit because Devin, he might not be able to make the motherfucking weight no more. He might not be able to make the weight. When we was hearing Devin talk, Devin wasn't saying the shit that Bill Haney was saying. Devin was saying, well, I don't know. I got to see. I would love to stay at 135 and make these big fights happen, but I got to see how I feel. I got to see how I feel after I weigh in. I got to see how I feel on fight night. I got to see how I feel. Bill would continue to say the opposite shit from Devin, right? Now, Shakur, he hops in the ring. He say he want all the smoke with Devin. He say he don't want Devin to go nowhere. Devin, stay right there at 135 because I'm going to take all of them scraps up off of you. I'm taking all them belts. And I also said, look, if Devin moves to 135, if Devin moves up to 140, people going to say that he's a duck. They're going to get on his helmet. They're going to call him a duck because of what Bill Haney was saying. Even though Devin Haney let everybody know, I don't know if I'm going to stay at the division. I got to see how I feel. Bill Haney's voice is much louder than Devin Haney's. Bill Haney, he go on more platforms than Devin Haney do. So people going to take what Bill was saying and they're going to run with it. And if Devin move up to 140, they're going to call him a duck. They're going to say he ducking Tank. They're going to say he ducking Shakur. And I can't defend all these people. I mean, I can't defend him against all these people, right? Because Bill said that shit, and some people feel like that they have a right to run off, even though they know that Devin Haney has a lot of problems making the weight. They know that Devin Haney came out of that motherfucking official weigh-in looking like he was dead, that he rose out the casket, right? They was trying to hide him because he looked so bad. Even though they know that, they still gonna say that he's a duck. My personal opinion is he cannot make the weight no more healthy. He can't make the weight healthy no more. I also, right, even though how bad I want to see these fights, I understand he can't make the weight no more. I don't want him getting in there unhealthy, trying to fight no Tank Davis or Shakur Stevenson, when if he lose or get knocked out, it's already going to be a built-in excuse because he fucking killed himself trying to make weight. I don't want him risking his health trying to make weight, right? Some of y'all don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Some of y'all don't care. Y'all just want to see what y'all want to see. But I don't want him risking his health trying to make a weight that I know that he cannot make. So with that being said, I feel that Devin Haney is gonna relinquish those belts. He's gonna move up. You know what I'm saying? I heard him say something about, well, I don't know. Maybe I move up to 140 and see how I feel at 140 and then keep my titles and then defend them. Or maybe I just move up to 140, just in all. Or maybe I might stay, depending on what they come up with. Maybe I stay at 135. He's not staying at 135. And Devin Haney is not liked enough over there on Top Rank, right? For them, and by the sanctioning bodies, for them to let him keep those scraps, move up to 140, and then come back down. First of all, he's not going to do that shit because once you go to 140, it ain't no coming back. And I don't think that we're going to see Shakur Stevenson. Definitely ain't going to see Shakur and Devin Haney because Devin Haney can't make the weight. Also, Bill Haney ain't no goddamn idiot. Bill Haney is not going to advise Devin Haney to stay down at 135 to fight Shakur. You know what I'm saying? And so Devin, he going to have to go up to 140. He got to go to 140. He has to go to 140 pounds, right? He has to, because anything else is unhealthy for him. Like I said, I'd love to see the fight, even if he could fight Shakur at a catch weight, but that wouldn't make no sense because Shakur want to fight for all the straps. As far as a tank fight, right? Him and Tank could happen because I think that it could happen, but it ain't going to happen. Because in order for him and Tank to happen, right, at this point, I believe that they would have to offer Devin Haney a bag that they're not willing to offer him to fight Tank. In order for Devin to stay at 135, he's going to have to make probably 2 times more than what he's ever made to stay and fight Gervonta Davis at 135. Now, I believe that Devin would be willing to fight Tank at 140, but he's not going to give up all of his advantages and put himself at a disadvantage to try to stay down at 135 and fight Tank. I don't think he's going to do it. He's not going to stay at 135 to fight Tank. So the only way that fight will be made is if Tank Davis and his team aggressively go after Devin and offer him a bag that he cannot turn down. Then the fight will happen. The Shakur fight won't happen because they both under Top Rank, and Bob Arum is not finna overpay for that fight. Bob don't overpay for shit. He lets you know he's not gonna overpay for the fight. You know what I'm saying? He's not gonna overpay for no fight. He's just not. And that's why that fight won't happen, because you're gonna have to overpay Devin Haney to face Shakur Stevenson at 135. It is what it is. So it's not a duck. When he move up, when he announced that he gonna move up, it is not a duck. He just can't make the weight healthy. Now, as far as the fight between Devin Haney and Shakur, y'all already know Devin Haney's not beating Shakur. That's my opinion, right? It's not a fact, it's just my opinion. I've always said that I got Shakur over everybody at 135. I don't see nobody in that division beating Shakur Stevenson. But when it comes down to Tank and Dev, I've always gave my opinion on that. I think that Tank and Dev is, you know, a 55-45 type fight. I think that, you know, it comes down to late in the fight, and I think that Tank stops Devin late in the fight. He catches him. I've always said that. This fight didn't change my opinion on Devin. It didn't change my opinion neither way. If people been watching me over the years, I've always said that, you know, that. I said that Tank, you know, he's gonna beat Devin. He'll knock him out, but he loses to Shakur. But I also want to say this, right? Gervonta Davis nor Shakur Stevenson, to me, they shouldn't open their mouth and say a motherfucking thing unless it's positive about Devin Haney fighting Vasyl Lomachenko. Because Tank Davis nor Shakur Stevenson have fought a fighter on the level of Lomachenko. They haven't. Neither one of them have. So Devin Haney, yeah, he won up top on them. Devin Haney is one up top on Shakur Stevenson and Tank because neither one of them have fought the competition that Devin Haney has fought with this win over Vasyl Lomachenko. Once they fight somebody on the level of Lomachenko, and they win, then they can come out and talk. But I don't want to hear Shakur nor Tank say shit about that motherfucking fight unless it's positive. Because they ain't fought nobody on that level. And I'm talking to their fans too. But Tank, nothing. He ain't fought. He had a chance to fight Lomachenko, right? And he didn't want to fight him. That's the motherfucking, that is the truth. That's a fact. Floyd Mayweather threatened Tank Davis and told him, look, you know what I'm gonna do now? I'm gonna put Tank, I'm gonna call Bob, and I'm gonna make that fight between Tank and Lomachenko. And Tank felt like he was being set up. He didn't want that fight. What he wanted Lomachenko to get older. So, you know, I just had to let y'all know that. And Shakur, he ain't never ducked no smoke, but the fact still remains, Shakur ain't never fought nobody on the level of Lomachenko. Whether he wanted to or not, he still ain't did it. So, yeah, shout out to Devin Haney because Devin is the one that did it. Devin is the one that did what he had to do to put himself in a position, right? And so, you know, I give a shout out to Devin. Although I think that he loses to Tank and Shakur. That's just what I think. But that don't mean nothing because he's the one that was able to go out there and prove that he can beat another A plus level fighter when they haven't done it yet. You know, so he got one up on them. And resume mean a lot. So, because no matter what I feel of how I think, Shakur can get in there with an A plus level fighter and damn near lose and have a tough ass fight or maybe lose. Tank can get in there with another A plus fighter and fuck around and lose. You see what I'm saying? Or have a very, very tough fight and almost lose. It could happen. They haven't had a chance to show us that yet. So that's just how I feel, you know, just keeping everything 100, you know. So I would like to see all of them fighters fight each other, you know, all of them. I just want to see who the best man is to where we don't have to come and argue about it. Well, we don't, oh, man, Tank does this or Shakur does this or Devin does this. If they fought each other, it wouldn't have to be no argument. All we have to do is debate and argue up until fight night, and then after that, it ain't no argument. Unless it's a close fight to where, you know, it's split down the middle. But other than that, you know, if they fight each other, all the argument go away. We get to see the fight. So when will we see those fights? Can Tank fight Devin at 140? Yeah, he can. Would I still favor Gervonta Davis to beat Devin at 140? Yeah, I will. Because, see, my whole thing with Devin is, right, even though I love Devin as a fighter, My whole thing with Devin is Devin don't have enough power to keep these fighters up off of him. When Vasyl Lomachenko wanted to press Devin, he was able to press Devin, and he wasn't too bothered by what Devin was throwing, except for the body shots, right? But he don't have enough power to keep a Tank Davis off of him. You see what I'm saying? The thing with Shakur that's different with Shakur to me, Shakur has respectable power. He got enough power to drop you. He might not knock you clean the fuck out like Tank can, but he got enough power to where you're going to respect Shakur, and you just not finna just walk him down and just let him hit you with whatever he wants to hit you with. You're going to think twice before you go in there and try to walk Shakur down, right? And also, Shakur has much better defense than Devin Haney. He can fight you in the pocket and have defense and make you miss while you right up on him. He can fight you mid-range and make you miss. He could just, move and box you on the outside. So he got all aspects to his game to where he is, if any fighter is a well-rounded fighter that can do it all, to me, it's Shakur Stevenson. It is what it is. But we got to fight at 140 because I feel that Teofimo Lopez is going to lose to Josh Taylor. We got Josh Taylor against Devin Haney, or we got Teofimo Lopez. They got a feud going on that's been going on for years. If Teofimo Lopez shut the fuck up, maybe now he might get in the ring with Devin Haney. But we still got some big fights with Devin Haney at 140. Big Doe says, but we know that Devin Haney's your favorite fighter, and ain't nothing wrong with that, Big Doe. But you said you disagree. You think that their power is equal until you see Shakur KOing some folks, and we don't see that at all. I see Shakur dropping everybody that he get in the ring with and hurting them. What you don't see is you don't see nothing, not taking nothing away from Devin Haney. You don't see Devin Haney doing none of that. You don't see Devin Haney hurting no fighters. You got to go way, way back in his career. You don't see Devin Haney dropping no fighters. So, Big Dose, let's keep it 100. Shakur, he hurt every fighter that he get in the ring with, and he be dropping most of these fighters as of late, right? As of late. Ever since Shakur really started sitting down on his punches, he's hurting people. He's dropping them. Devin Haney is not hurting these fighters and dropping them like that. Now, I just feel that when it comes to power, I'm not saying neither one of them are devastating motherfucking power punchers like Tank. Tank is without a shadow of a doubt. He got way more power than both of them. But Shakur has respectable power. Just like with Floyd Mayweather, you didn't see fighters walking down Floyd and just letting Floyd hit them with whatever, he threw. They took caution before they went in on Floyd, because if people tell you Floyd got cracked. So you can't tell me that motherfucking they got the same amount of power and Shakur not KOing people when you just seen Shakur Stevenson stop his last opponent. When the opponent before that, Robert Kinsasiao, he hurt him and dropped him. And damn near had him up out of there. He dropped Oscar Valdez and hurt him. He stopped Jamel Herring. So what is you talking about? They on the same thing and you ain't seeing Shakur. Man, come on, Big Dose. You got to stop with that shit, bro. Like when I talk about this shit, I'm calling this shit straight down the middle. So you can't tell me this what you see, because I don't know what you're watching if you're not seeing that. He's, you know what I'm saying? Like, what we talking about, bro? And I just named his last 4 opponents. I don't think Devin Haney KO'd nobody since fucking Antonio Duran, but that is not even the point to me. My point is respectable. I don't even think that Devin Haney has to get KOs to win fights, because he don't. But when you fight somebody like a Gervonta Davis, When you fight a fighter, let's just name some styles of fighters, right? When you fight fighters like a Tank Davis, a Zab Judah, a motherfucking Marcos Madonna, you got to have some shit to keep them up off of you, right? If you can't keep them up off of you and they don't respect you and they continue to come forward and press and press and press and press, eventually, especially a fighter like Tank Davis that can not only slug, right? They got devastating punching power. He can box too, and he got a ring IQ. He's eventually he's gonna get inside on Devin. And Devin Haney don't have the defense that Shakur Stevenson has, right? He gets hit. He just do. He's gonna get inside on Devin. In my opinion, is when he get inside on Devin Haney, right? When he closed the distance, and Devin Haney starts slowing down towards the back end of the fight, the second half of the fight, that's when Tank Davis is gonna get him. That's my opinion. Now, it could go a different way. It could go where you see, Devin Haney in better shape because maybe they fight at 140. He got more energy. He uses legs. He's fighting on the outside. He's using his jab. He's touching Tank. Every time Tank come in, he's wrapping up Tank, making Tank reset. And he's just, moving on the move and making an outside fight and using his jab. He could and win on 12 rounds. He could do that also, right? That's why I say it's like a 45-50 fight, because it depends what type of fight that Devin fights. But ultimately, I think that, Tank is going to close that distance, and Tank is accurate with his punches. He don't waste a lot of punches, and he going to eventually catch Devin and knock him out. Just is what it is. The reason I got Shakur over all of them is because if you put Shakur and Devin together, right? You put Shakur and Devin in the ring. Shakur does everything, in my opinion, better than Devin does, except for maybe a jab, right? Everything else, Shakur punch harder. Shakur footwork is better. Just because Devin can move a lot, that don't mean his footwork is better. Shakur footwork is better. He fight better on the mid-range, can fight you on the outside, fight a lot better on the inside. Shakur got a whole lot of fucking dog in him. And it's just, he's a better boxer all around. You know what I'm saying? And his defense is way better than Devin's. So to me, Shakur is a better fighter all around, right? All around. So that's why I got him over Devin. It's not going to be an easy fight. I think a lot of the fight will be, it'll be a chess match until, one figure the other one out. And I think that's going to be Shakur because he got more tools in his bag, right? He got a bigger arsenal than Devin do. Now, as far as Shakur and Tank, the reason that I picked Shakur Stevenson over Gervonta Davis is because I think it'll be a hell of a fight. I think that's the best fight in boxing, probably, Shakur and Tank. But I think that, Shakur, he better than Tank. You know what I'm saying? As far as boxing, he's better than Tank. I think he's a lot more active. I know that he's a lot more active than Tank. Shakur don't have no weaknesses in his inside game. He could box you on the outside, so he could go move. He could take the fight to an outside fight, keep Tank at bay and outbox him, use his legs. He's the best fighter in boxing at mid-range, right? He could do that. And ultimately, I think that Tank Davis, and people are talking about that, oh man, Tank knocks out Shakur. That is the problem. That's the problem. Exactly what everybody is saying, that Tank knocks out Shakur. That's the fucking problem. Because ultimately, it's going to have to come down to Tank Davis needing to knock out Shakur Stevenson. Even though that he can box, he can't outbox Shakur. He's not active enough, right? It's going to come down to him needing to knock out Shakur. And able to do that, he's going to have to bank on Shakur Stevenson making a mistake and getting caught with something that he don't see. Now, it's a chance of that happening. It's a chance of that happening. But what is the chance of that happening? That shit is very, very slim with somebody that has the best defense in boxing, statistically. So you mean to tell me it's a 12-round fight and you're going to have to bank on catching somebody that has the best defense in boxing along with everything else that I just named, and you depending on you catching him with something that he don't see because he made a big mistake? Bro, that's like I said, it could happen, but that's slim. How many big-ass punchers did Floyd Mayweather get in the ring with, and people were saying that Floyd was going to get knocked out because they was going to catch Floyd? Tell me when that happened. Tell me when that happened. So that's why he not beating Shakur, because y'all saying it for everybody that's saying tank, tank, tank. Y'all saying it for him. He got to depend on the knockout. Shakur, he can depend on everything but a knockout to beat Tank. Tell me when it happened to Floyd. No, I didn't forget Tank can box also, because I swear I said that. I think I said that several times. I said Tank can box also, but he can't box on the level of Shakur Stevenson. So I didn't forget. Maybe you just didn't hear me. Huh? Yeah, they don't hear that. They only hear what they want to hear. Oh. But if that's what y'all praying and wishing on, good luck to you. Good luck to you with that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's definitely the best fight. Like I said, I think that Gervonta Davis has a very high ring IQ. Shakur Stevenson has a very high ring IQ. So I believe that fight is not going to come down to, oh man, Tank gonna knock him out. It ain't gonna come down to that. Bro, it's just not. Like, to me, it's crazy for people to fucking think that when Gervonta Davis and Shakur get in the ring, or if they ever get in the ring, it's gonna come down to Tank knocking out Shakur. That's not how the fight is gonna be won. That fight is going to be won on the scorecards. It's going to be won with ring IQ, boxing ability, who got the most dog in them, who won it the most, and who has the best game plan on that night. That's what that fight is going to come down to. And I got Shakur Stevenson. Now, I was able to tell y'all why I had Shakur Stevenson. Telling me that, man, Tank beats all of them. Tank just knock them the fuck out. When you get to that A+ level, bro, it don't work like that in boxing. When you get two A+ level fighters in the ring with each other, it doesn't work like that. Also, right? So, I mean, it's kind of like y'all really don't know boxing. Like, you really don't. You know what I'm saying? All y'all are is y'all enamored with knockouts. Now, also, what style of fighter is Gervonta Davis knocking out? Like, do y'all take a fucking moment to, like, actually really try to learn shit about boxing and think before you talk? I know that most of the people that watch boxing are casual fans. Do y'all understand what style of fighter that Gervonta Davis is knocking out? Go down his resume. All of those fighters are all the same type of fighters. They're all fighters that's going to be right in front of him, that's going to bang. If you don't fucking know that, you don't know shit about boxing. All the fighters that he's been in the ring with all have stood in front of him and they're fucking brawlers. Leo Santa Cruz is a fighter that don't have no defense. He's going to stand in front of you and he's going to try to overwhelm you with activity. Isai Cruz, a fighter, and he didn't even knock out Isai Cruz, but these are the fighters that he in the ring with. Isai Cruz, flat-footed fighter that's going to be right there and bang it out with you. Mario Barrios, flat-footed fighter that's going to be right there and try to bang it out with you. You go back and watch all the way back when he won his first title off of Jose Pedraza. Jose Pedraza stood right in the pocket with Gervonta Davis and went toe-to-toe with him. Fuck is y'all talking about? Yorionis Gamboa, right in the pocket and tried to bang it out with Tank Davis on a torn Achilles. Tore his Achilles in the second round. He couldn't even move if he wanted to. You want to keep going? Tell me where I'm telling the lie at. All of these fighters are the same type of fucking fighters. All of them. Ryan Garcia, no defense. Right in front of you, flat-footed, he's going to try to bang it out with you. Hector Garcia, flat foot, right in the pocket, banging it out. Like, did y'all just start watching boxing yesterday? He fights all of the same style fighters. All of them are the same styles. So do you fucking think that because he knocked those opponents out that are tailor-made for his style? Like, bro, if you stand right in the middle of the ring with Deontay Wilder, 9 times out of 10, you're going to get knocked the fuck out. It is what it is. If I got a fucking brick in my hand and you standing trying to go toe-to-toe with me with a brick in my hand, I'm going to knock your motherfucking ass out with that brick. Like, what the fuck is wrong with y'all? Tank Davis is a great fighter, but they put him in the ring with all of the same fighters. So you can't come in here and telling me if he fights Shakur Stevenson, oh man, he's knocking out Shakur. How you know? How are y'all so just running around, he gonna knock out Shakur when he ain't never been in the ring with a fighter like Shakur? He ain't. Never been in the ring with a fighter like Shakur. He ain't never been in the ring with a fighter like Devin. You feel what I'm saying? He never even been in the ring with a fighter like Shakur or Devin. He ain't never been in the ring with no fighter that can box, move, and do all of that. He ain't never been in the ring with that fighter. They built him into the star, right? Because they knew they had a blueprint. This motherfucker can crack. He also got boxing skills. He got ring IQ. And we're going to put him in there with flat-foot ass fighters. 99% Hispanic fighters that's going to stand in there and go toe-to-toe with him. And the outcome is he going to catch them eventually and knock their ass out. Because they don't have no defense like that. Like, I don't understand, like, but all right, okay. All I'm just saying, if once he do fight that fighter, and for me, it's Shakur Stevenson, once he do fight him, keep the same energy. Just keep that same energy. If that's what y'all banking on, him going on in there and knocking Shakur Stevenson out because y'all don't understand boxing and y'all don't understand the type of opponents that he's knocking out. I'm not saying that they're not good fighters. So don't get me wrong. I'm not saying, oh, Tank in there with all bums. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that he's in there with the style that is tailor-made for his style. Some of y'all don't, y'all can't comprehend that. A lot of y'all you never will be able to comprehend that. He's in there. Let me tell y'all once again. So when you lose your money and you get to crying and some shit happened that you never thought or never fathomed that could happen, Gervonta Davis is in there with the same style opponent every fight. Whether they're bigger or smaller, they all flat-footed fighters that are going to go toe-to-toe with him. That's it. And all of them pretty much got the same level of resume except for Devin Haney because he separated himself with this Lomachenko fight. He separated himself with the Lomachenko fight. And that's just what it is. So as far as a resume, ain't none of them separate. Shakur nor Tank have separated themselves with the resume and the people they fighting. The only one that did that was Devin Haney this past weekend with fighting Lomachenko. Straight up and down. So, you know, they all on that same level when it comes to resume. When it comes to resume. And so it is what it is. Bat for Life says you want Pitbull versus Shakur. If you want to see a motherfucking a goddamn a Matador tame a fucking bull, that's what the fuck you gonna see. You're gonna see a wild ass ignorant looking bull running around swinging wild, and you're gonna see Shakur fucking clown his ass. That's what you're gonna see. And then you're gonna say that, and then people gonna say that they're gonna come up with an excuse. Man, Shakur ran. He ain't want to go toe to toe with Pitbull Cruz. He was scared. He ain't, man, Shakur didn't want to get mad. Man, he would have lost the Pitbull if he hadn't went toe. He was scared of Pitbull. Like, Isaac Cruz he ain't that to me. Isaac Cruz is not good to me. Like, I thought that Tank Davis beat Isaac Cruz easy with one hand. Like, I scored that fight 9-3 for Tank, and Pitbull had both his hands. Tank only had one. He only had one good hand. Pitbull ain't that for me. Like, Shakur Stevenson beating Pitbull, like, I would watch the fight. Yeah, of course I'm going to watch the fight, but it's not going to, like, it don't do nothing for me. I know that Shakur is going to school Pitbull Cruz. Pitbull and his whole team know that Shakur is going to school him. That's an easy fight for Shakur. Like, y'all got to understand that certain styles make fights. Just like if you put a style in front of Gervonta Davis that's going to stand in front of him and bang it out, he's going to knock them out. If you put a style in front of Shakur with a motherfucker that got slow feet and all they going to do is try to fucking knock him out and try to fucking, walk him down, and they got slow feet. They don't know how to cut off the ring, and they have limited boxing skills. Shakur's going to fucking dog them. He going to make them look like they need to go back to the amateurs. So certain styles make certain fights. The reason that Shakur Stevenson and Tank Davis is a fucking great fight, it's a chess match because both of them got very high ring IQs. Both of them can box very well. And they both complete fighters. They both are complete fighters. That's why I say that people talk about, man, Tank gonna knock him. It's not gonna come down to no knockout. That ain't what it's gonna come down to. Tank is not active and aggressive enough to fucking knock Shakur Stevenson out and catch him with something that he don't see. A fighter like Shakur, I'm gonna tell y'all the type of fighter you have to beat a Shakur Stevenson, right? To me, you got to be a Marcos Maidana type of fighter, right? That's the type of fighter that's going that may be able to catch Shakur Stevenson with some shit and knock him out, right? Not Tank, because Tank ain't active enough, right? Tank himself. He's processing and he's thinking, he's picking his spots and he's waiting, he's doing all of that shit. You got to have a fighter like a wild, crazy motherfucker that don't give a fuck, that's going in there. He gonna bite you. He gonna wrestle you. He gonna throw fucking crazy shots from all type of different angles. You know what I'm saying? That's the type of fighter that's gonna give Shakur Stevenson his most problems, right? He gonna tackle you. That shit that Marcos Maidana did, it gave Floyd a problem because the first fight, because Floyd, like, he's like, damn. First of all, he didn't know where them fucking punches was coming from. He was wild. He was doing all type of aggressive, crazy shit, and it kind of threw Floyd off his game. That's how you got to be to be able to, you know, get Shakur out of his game. That style fighter. Tank Davis is not that type of fighter. Like, I don't know what the fuck y'all think. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what y'all think Tank Davis is. Like, y'all acting like Tank Davis is just aggressive fighter that's gonna fucking walk you down, throw 100 punches per round, and overwhelm you, and then catch you with some shit you don't see and knock you clean out. Bruh, it's not the same. The guys that y'all are seeing Tank fight are not the same style fighter that a Shakur Stevenson is. That's a whole different fight. Great fight though. Shout out to Tank, man. Shout out to Shakur. Shout out to Devin. Shout out to Frank Martin. Shout out to Ryan Garcia for stepping up. You know, shout out to all of these fighters at 135. You know, 140, 135, all great fighters. We just should be excited that we get to come on here and we get to go back and forth on who we think will win the fight and see great fights. That's what I'm excited about. If Tank Davis and Shakur fight and Tank Davis knock out Shakur, I'm going to be excited for Tank. You know why? Because I'm going to be able to say, Tank, that motherfucker, bad motherfucker. He knocked out Shakur Stevenson. Like, Tank, man, he ain't got to do nothing else. Like, Tank, you know what I'm saying? I like that type of shit. If Shakur go and outbox the fuck out of Tank, I'm happy for Shakur because I'm like, man, Shakur, he showed why he the best. He showed why he everything that everybody say he is. I'm not finna run off and fucking cry about the shit because the fighter that I picked didn't win, or I'm happy. I'm more happy that now I can say who is the better fighter. Y'all don't move like that. You know what I'm saying? Most fight fans don't move like that. They're going to cry and make excuses and complain and want to fucking kill themselves over something that really don't have nothing to do with them. It's just entertainment for them. It's entertainment for us. I'm too fucking grown to be worried and crying about my favorite fighter losing the fight unless I done lost a lot of money on it. Real talk. Now I've been mad a few times with Deontay Wilder because I didn't lost more money on him than I even want to think about. So yeah, I was mad and then I was pissed off and complaining. But if I don't got no money on it, I'm not finna be complaining. And the better man won. It is what it is. Let's move on. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad I can say who the better man is. That's it. That's all. So, you know, at one point in time, I'm not finna act like I wasn't like that at one point in time with fighters when I was younger, you know, get pissed off and like, man, fuck, man, he lost. And man, I don't care about these fighters losing or winning. All I want to see is the best fight the best. I don't give a fuck if they lose or win. It is what it is at the end of the day, unless I got money on it. Dude, but other than that, I don't care, you know. But anyway, y'all smash the like button. We've been on here for 2 hours. I appreciate everybody that came through. Smash on the like button. Y'all already know what it is. You know, great live. Salute to everybody in the chat that came through. Shout out to the haters, you know, because I know it's a lot of y'all in here too. And y'all already know how I do. There you go, talking that boxing again. And I'm gone. We out, y'all.